Bardown Analytics has developed the first and only interactive hockey stats platform, providing fans with dashboard applications to slice and dice statistics for every player, goalie, and franchise that have played in the National Hockey League. Signing up for access to Bardown's dashboards is available at bardownanalytics.com. First-time customers will also receive a free 2-week trial. Once you've created a Bardown profile and signed up for a membership, you can log into the Bardown Analytics application. After logging in, you'll be directed to the landing page, where you can launch any one of the 7 Bardown dashboards. In this video, we'll take a deep dive into the dashboards that focus on goalies. We'll start with the Goalie Dashboard. After launching the Goalie Dashboard, you'll see that the default selection is Marc-Andre Fleury. Each time you select a different player, the dashboard will let you know when it has updated. Including the player filter, there are 9 filters that the dashboard operates off of. Everything below these filters change based on the selections you make. Each filter, except for the player filter, is a multi-select. For the filters with more selection options, you can start typing to find the value you're looking for, instead of scrolling through the list. If at any time you want to clear the filters, hit the Clear All Selections button, located at the top of the page, and all the filters will be reset, except for the player filter. We'll spend more time later seeing these filters in action, but for now let's dive into the information in the dashboard itself, starting with the Player Career Summary section. The Player Career Rankings is depicted using a radar or spider chart. This chart is meant to represent where a player ranks all time compared to their peers in pre-selected categories. The farther out the shape is in that category, the higher that player is ranked in that category. For example, if I hover over the data point under wins, the chart shows me that Fleury has 520 regular season wins, which leaves him ranked 3rd all time. On the top left of the chart, you can toggle back and forth between regular season and playoff rankings to see how players rank in each. The player info section is pretty self-explanatory, showing all the details about the selected player. The Player Career Awards section is meant to show the count of awards the player has won over their career, broken out by all the different individual awards a goalie can win. For even more detail, you can hover over the number under each award to see the team and year the player won each award with. Looking at Fleury's currently 3 Stanley Cups, the dashboard shows me that he won all 3 with the Pittsburgh Penguins and what years they were won. The Player Career Stats table is the only chart in this section that is affected by the top level filters. The table here is also pretty self-explanatory, but if you're new to the sport of hockey and are unsure of what each of these acronyms stand for, there's a glossary at the bottom of the dashboard for your reference. Next up is the Metric Deep Dive section. The purpose of this section is to take a deep dive into a specific statistic for that player. This section is controlled by the metric filter, which defaults to wins upon launching the dashboard. The first chart in this section is the metric timeline, which shows the player's total for the selected metric over the seasons they have played in the league. You'll notice that some of these win total numbers look high for Fleury, for example 51 wins in 2008. This is because we're looking at both regular season and playoff wins. To focus on one or the other, use the game type filter at the top of the dashboard. The next chart is the Metric 4 tree map. Fleury has played for 4 teams in his career thus far: the Penguins, Golden Knights, Blackhawks, and Wild, which is why you see 4 shapes here. If I hover over the Penguins, it shows me the amount of wins Fleury had playing as a Penguin and his winning percentage. Now if I click this square, I can see the breakout of all the wins he has earned as a Penguin, but now by coach. The larger the shape represents a larger win total, whereas shapes that have a hotter color indicate a higher win per game average. So in this case, Fleury recorded the most wins and highest winning percentage under Dan Bylsma. To go back to the top level view, click the outer shape in the chart. The next visual is the exact same information, only instead of looking at teams and coaches the player has played for, it focuses on opponents. The concept here is the same, where we can see the team Fleury has recorded the most wins against is the New York Rangers, while his highest winning percentage is against the Anaheim Ducks. Clicking into each square here shows the results by each coach he has played against for each of these teams. You can use the radio button above the first chart to toggle the hierarchy back and forth. Now you can see Fleury has won the most games against Peter DeBoer, and the results he has had against each team since DeBoer has coached in the league. The final chart in this section is the Metric Geomap, which shows the exact location of Fleury's wins. The size of the bubble indicates the number of wins in that location. Obviously, he recorded the majority of his wins in Pittsburgh, which is why you see the largest bubble on the map there. The metric section is available for 16 different goalie statistics that you can change between using the metric dropdown. Here's the same information for Fleury looking at losses. Any stats that are statistical averages, such as save percentage, are depicted with scatter charts rather than tree maps. The detail stats section on the dashboard is a combination of miscellaneous stats packaged together in one area. The first chart in the group is the shot georank. This chart is focused on goals allowed for the selected goalie. Each circle on this chart represents a goal that Fleury allowed since 2013. Hovering over a single circle will show you all the information about that goal. Using the shot type filter above the chart, you can focus on the goals Fleury has allowed by a specific shot type, for example, slap shot. Similar to the charts above, I can zoom in on a specific region and then zoom out by double-clicking. The donut chart to the right of the rink map shows the percentage breakdown of location for each of the goals. This shows that since 2013, 50% of the goals Fleury has allowed have been from the slot. This chart updates in unison with the shot type filter as well. If I change the shot type to backhand, the donut chart will drastically change to show the slot as the primary scoring location. The rest of this section is made up of tables showing various stats, including shootouts, penalty shots, and a further breakdown of Fleury's overall record by regular season and playoffs. The next table on the dashboard is the traditional look at stats by season. This table is sortable by each statistic, meaning you can easily see Fleury's best and worst seasons in each category. The final table on the dashboard is the same information, only aggregated by days of rest. In other words, this table shows Fleury's career stats by days of rest between games he started. Now that we walked through each component of the dashboard, let's go back to the filters. These filters alter every visualization in the dashboard, meaning you can come up with endless scenarios to view Fleury's stats by. As an example, let's take a look at Fleury's regular season performance for the past 3 seasons, playing against the Sharks, Ducks, and Avalanche. Scrolling down, you can see the entire dashboard has changed to focus on the data we have queried above. Like I mentioned before, you can use the Clear All Selections button to reset these filters, so you don't have to remove them individually. Next, we'll look at the goalie matchup dashboard. To navigate to this dashboard, use the link at the top of the page. This dashboard allows users to compare goalies' stats side by side, ideal for making decisions on who to start on your fantasy hockey team. The default selections here are Marc-Andre Fleury and Carey Price. To save space, we've abbreviated regular season and playoffs with R and P. The dashboard provides 4 stats views for each player: career stats for selected oppositions, season stats, and season stats for selected oppositions. If I change the opposition filter under Fleury to the Rangers, 2 of the 4 tables for Fleury will change. In the career section, I can now see how Fleury has performed across his career and how he has performed only against the Rangers in his career. I can see the same information broken out by season in the 2 charts below. I can add as many teams as I want to this filter. Let's add the Hurricanes. The second chart in each of these sections updates based on the opponents chosen, while the other filters for the player control all 4 charts. If I change the home-away filter to home, now I see Fleury's career stats at home and his career stats at home against the Rangers and Hurricanes. The matchup dashboard is meant to be a simple comparison tool, whereas the goalie dashboard has all the details for the player and their stats. And that's a wrap for the goalie dashboards, brought to you by Bardown Analytics. Bardown has a lot more going on than just this dashboard. Check out all our other dashboards via our YouTube channel, or sign up for a membership to explore each dashboard for free for 2 weeks.